This is one of the houses I grew up in, an unassuming semi-detached ex-local authority in Loughborough, Leicestershire. Now we're going to explore the possibility that something a little darker also called this home. Hey guys, so this is a video I've been wanting to shoot for a while, and it's what got me into the paranormal, it's what got me believing. I might be a little awkward, I'm in the middle of the woods, it's very public, and I'm not used to shooting things with a tripod, so we'll see how this goes. When we moved into this house, it had a great feeling. It was my mum and stepdad's first house together. It was the first house they ever bought. So yeah, it was a good family home. But there were some dark sides to it. So when I was around 7 or 8, I had the back bedroom, and it was the biggest of the bedrooms. And it was a lovely bedroom, really comfortable when I first had it, when we first moved in. But there'd be times where I was sat, playing the PlayStation, listening to music, or just watching TV. I was a kid, so mainly it was the WCW and WWE back then. But I'd be sat at my desk, in like a little office chair, and I'd get this feeling all of a sudden. I'd get shivers down my spine, and I'd feel like something or someone was watching me. Now, I knew there was nobody else upstairs. I always knew there was only 4 of us. I knew where my brother, my mum, my stepdad was, and I got this uncomfortable feeling that there was someone stood in the door watching me. So I'd swivel on my chair, and I'd find myself fixed, watching this door, unable to move, but unable to see past it. I couldn't see into the hallway. All I could see was the door frame with the door opened in. And I'd stand like this for 20-30 seconds, and then I'd feel like there was something behind me at the window. And I knew that was impossible, because we were on the first floor. There's no way that anybody could have been watching me through the window. But I'd spin as fast as I could, and I'd stare at the window. Again, not seeing past it, not seeing into my garden, or the neighbour's garden, or anywhere like that. Literally just seeing at the window pane. And then it'd go back to the door, and I'd stand and I'd spin and I'd spin and I'd spin over and over and over again, rotating on the same spot, feeling like there was something watching me, just spinning me around the room. So that'd go on for 15-20 minutes. Every noise in the room would be completely wiped out. No matter what I was watching, what I was listening to, what I was playing, I couldn't hear anything. I'd just stand spinning and spinning and spinning. And obviously this creeped me out a lot as a kid. And it wouldn't break until my brother made a noise, or my mum shouted at me saying my dinner was ready, or my stepdad had shut the door when he'd come in from work. I'd just spin and spin and spin. And it could go on for ages. I don't know how long exactly. It's almost like I'd entered into a trance. It was such a freaky experience to have. I don't know who was watching me, what was watching me, or if anything was watching me, to be completely honest. I just had this feeling, and I never ever spoke about this to anybody until very recently. I never told my mum, my stepdad, my brother. I spoke to Danny about it before I spoke to my mum about it. It was just an all-round weird experience to have as a child, just fixated, tranced, spinning over and over again. Now this feeling went on for years whilst I was in that bedroom. Years and years and years, done it hundreds of times, just stood there, and it wasn't a particular time of day, it wasn't a particular day of the week even. It was just, all of a sudden, I get this feeling I was being stared at. A couple of years into us living there, me and my brother decided to swap bedrooms. Now it seems a bit crazy that I'd go from having the biggest bedroom in the house to the smallest. But I didn't get this feeling in my brother's room. Now, I don't know if he got similar feelings in my old room, but we swapped bedrooms. Now, it stopped me spinning on the spot. That never happened to me again whilst we were in that room, whilst we were in that house. But it did come with a whole new set of feelings. This new room, the box room, it was top of the stairs, slightly set off. I could look straight down to the bathroom. My old room was out to the right. My parents' was to the right, just next to the bathroom door. So, pretty good view of the hallway. Now, if and when I was a kid, small bladder, I ever got up at night to use the toilet. We all do. Unfortunately now it happens to be more that I'm older. Anyway, so I'd get up at night, I'd walk down the hall, straight in front of me is the bathroom. I'd walk down the hall, and about a half step behind me, something was following across the attic, and it stopped when I reached the toilet. Done my business, washed my hands, turned around, walked back down the hallway. Dum, 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 behind me. Always about a half step. Now, I know that instantly people will be going, "Oh, it was your footsteps, it's the sound of your footsteps, it's quiet, it's at night, da 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 da." Happened during the day as well, but it was more predominant at night. I'd agree with you, I'd say it was my footsteps, or my imagination, or a bird. It's impossible. There was obviously the hall, at the ceiling of the hall, the attic, and a very pitched roof to, the roof, essentially. There is no way I could have heard anything. And my stepdad had completely boarded out the loft, so there's no way there was mice or rats or anything in there. I'd never hear them if they were walking above me. I'd hear scurrying, I wouldn't hear footsteps, not my footsteps, I wouldn't hear footsteps a half step behind me. When I first told my mum about this, she was obviously trying to protect her children, trying to protect us from what she already believed was out in the world. So she'd say it was your imagination, it was the house heating and cooling, it was, like I said before, birds, mice, whatever. It was the echoes, it wasn't. Later in life, when we've spoken about this, my mum said she experienced the same things, felt the same things around walking up and down that landing. Now, speaking of the attic, I'm going to give you a little bit of comic relief, because speaking about this, even though it's broad daylight, it's beautifully hot here at the minute, which is weird, it's Scotland. Give you a little bit of comic relief. Now, outside, in between my two old bedrooms, was the loft hatch. And don't ask me, don't know, ask my mum, she can't remember. But her and my brother were going to go up into the attic to get something. So, they open the hatch, pull down the ladder, and there's this black mass in the middle of the attic hatch. My mum's going, "I'm not going up there." My brother's going, "Well, I'm not fucking going up either." We were kids, we weren't swearing. And for probably a good 15-20 minutes they were arguing about who was going to go up the ladder to flick the light on. Now the awkward part was the light was behind you, so you either had to turn around on the ladder and turn your back to this mass, or you had to reach over. Can't remember who went up first, but they elected to reach over, hit the light switch, bin bag. For some reason, don't know why, Derek had hung something off the rafters right at that point, and it looked like somebody was hanging from the rafters in our attic. Now, there was a lot of weird and odd things that happened in this house. Again, it was our first family home, so it should have been comforting. It was for the most part. I remember once, I was young, I'd probably say 7, 8, maybe 9, and I was off school. I can't remember if I was off school, it might have been the weekend, I don't know. But I was the only one in the house. My mum had nipped to the shop. It wasn't child endangerment back in the 90s, it was fucking normal. But anyway, I was lying on the couch watching TV, and then I got a feeling like I did when I was upstairs in the bedroom, living room. It was right below my old bedroom, and I got this feeling I was being watched through the window. And I have no idea where this bravery came from, because parts of this house scared the life out of me. But I got up and I walked to the window, and very briefly, probably 2-3 seconds, I could see a man sticking his head out from behind the garage, top hat and tails, and for some reason there was a gravestone in my garden. but as quick as I'd seen it, it was gone. I ran my ass back to that couch, and I never looked out that window for the rest of the day. Probably for a good few weeks I didn't look out that living room window because I was so fucking freaked out by what I'd seen. We're going to go back in time a wee bit now to when we first moved into this house. Now, for some reason, the only toilet in this house was downstairs at the bottom of the stairs. No fucking idea why. It's odd, I know, but the only thing that was in the bathroom was the bath and a basin. Downstairs toilet didn't even have a basin. You had to go in the kitchen to wash your hands, but that's besides the point. So it's late at night, me and my brother fast asleep in our respective rooms. Don't know which orientation we had the rooms at the time, but my mum woke up and she heard thudding footsteps going down the stairs, but they never came back up. So she got up and she saw either me or my brother lying in the box room fast asleep. She stuck her head into the big bedroom and saw either me or my brother fast asleep in bed, and obviously she knew Derek was lying next to her. So we'd gone downstairs. What had gone downstairs? We don't know. We'll never know. I wish we could know. But she knew for a fact that she heard footsteps going downstairs that never came back up. Sorry, someone came walking this way. But anyway, so on to the next story. Now this one starts out a little bit funny. About 20-25 years ago, my mum brought Derek a little plushie Goofy, like the one I've got in my bag, the one that comes with me everywhere. But this one started the weird Goofy thing. So little did we know he'd become such an integral part of the family, to the point that Goofy sleeps between my mum and Derek's pillows. Now this does have a bearing on the story, I promise you that. Now this happened shortly after Derek's mum sadly passed away. So it was a couple of weeks, a month, I'm not 100% sure how long it was after she passed away. It was just a normal night. So mum and Derek make their cup of teas, go off up to bed, drink a cup of tea, watch some telly, go to sleep. Neither of them woke through the night until Derek's alarm goes off in the morning. He gets up, goes downstairs, makes his pieces, makes his flask of tea. Off to work he goes as a long distance lorry driver. Don't ask me what company he was working for, don't know. A couple of hours later, or an hour or so later, my mum gets up. She goes downstairs, walks into the kitchen, and sat on the bunker. We had like a wee breakfast bar bit, or like a wee island. There sat Goofy, happy as you like on the bunker. Mum thinks this is weird, but looks past it. You know, we get ready for the day, we go to school, we come home, much as normal. Mum's in the house all day, life of luxury, and it has maybe an odd feeling, but nothing too bad. So Derek comes home, Mum turns to him and goes, "By the way, did you get Goofy up this morning?" "No." "How?" "Sat in the bunker." Don't know what it was. I'm not going to include the true meaning of why this story happened. That's for Derek and Derek alone. But it helped. It helped Derek realise some things. So that's the good part of this story. But it was still creepy as fuck. And Mum found it weird that something... Sorry, cold call in the middle of nowhere. Mum found it weird that something moved Goofy from between their pillows to that kitchen bunker at some point in the night. Now it wasn't all scary things that happened in this house. Some of them were quite comforting, and some of them we still do to this day. Now back in the early 2000s, before we moved to Wales, we were going to emigrate to New Zealand, if not for a wooden spoon. But we started this thing where we'd ask my granddad if we were making the right decision. Now, I've never met my granddad. He sadly passed away a couple of years before I was born. But we'd ask him, Granddad, or Mum, or Dad, are we making the right choice? Should we do this? Bit of history on my granddad. Didn't keep in the best of health. He had a number of heart attacks and left him a little bit wonky, and he had a spirit level literally this big, and he'd hang fucking everything with it, and everything was always wonky. So we asked my granddad, should we move to New Zealand? Nothing happened, and I mean nothing. Then we started holidaying in Wales, where I say I grew up, where I say I'm from, and we fell in love with the place. And one time we were coming back, we were visiting Derek's cousin. We were coming back from a holiday week away. We pulled into the drive, and me and my brother turned to my mum and my stepdad and went, right, can we go home now? So at 9, 10, we decided we hated living in built up areas. We wanted to move to the country and enjoy our lives, enjoy being teenagers. So again, we turned to my granddad. I went, Granddad, Dad, Len, whoever, are we making the right decision? Should we move to Wales? And hanging above the stairs was a picture of my stepdad's old motorbike. It was a Suzuki GSX 1186. Beautiful bike. I'll put a picture of it in now. Anyway, we had that picture hanging above the stairs, and near enough every morning that picture was wonky. My mum had to straighten it. Never happened when we asked about moving to New Zealand. Happened when we asked about moving to Wales. And it turns out moving to Wales was the best decision we ever made. I still miss it. So we still do that to this day. I will ask my granddad things in my house, in my home, and my mum made me a big picture, a big wall hanging, made of fabric, of mine and Danny's wedding venue. And if I'm having a moment where I need to ask my granddad something, that's the picture that will move if I'm doing the right thing. If it doesn't move, I know I need to change what I'm doing. Speaking of moving, this is something I can't explain, but we also can't put down spiritual activity. There was a game that me and Connor played religiously. I loved this game. It's one of my favourite sports. It was Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. Played it religiously, played it over and over and over again. Completed it so many times. And then one day, it disappeared. Couldn't find it anywhere. Thought we'd lost it. Maybe it's fallen down something. Maybe, you know, it's got mixed up with something. So we're moving to Wales. And we're going through everything we own. We do a car boot to get rid of some old shit that we don't want anymore. You know, normal stuff that you do when you're downsizing and moving 200 miles away from where you were. One of the decisions we made was to take the living room carpet up. Underneath that carpet, slap bang in the middle of the room, was one tiny shard of this CD. And we knew it was that because it said Matt Hoffman on it. How? If you can explain to me, logically, how one shard of a CD ends up in the middle of a room, under carpet and underlay, I'll stop believing in the paranormal. There was no slits in the carpet, there was no joins in the carpet, full solid carpet all the way around the room. There is no way that slither could have ended up under that carpet. Now, as you've seen from the pictures I've posted of this house, it wasn't particularly old. It was an ex-local authority house. It was in a semi-rough neighbourhood. Good chance of seeing a police chase where we were. It wasn't hundreds of years old, so there's not hundreds of years of history tied to this house. But that doesn't mean it can't be haunted. The ground itself, the ground it's built on, could have been haunted, could have been you know, it is hundreds of years old, thousands of years old, but we don't know what was on that hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. It was in Leicestershire, so we do know there's a lot of Roman activity in that area, but that doesn't explain a lot of it. It was a stone's throw from a graveyard. So were the spirits tied to this house or that land, or were they just visiting from their final resting place? Did they know, even back then when me and my brother didn't know, that we knew they were there, that we could feel them? I don't know. I'll never have the answers to what was in this house. Not unless I do a paranormal investigation there, which quite honestly, I would do given the opportunity. I really would, because I want answers to what tormented me as a child. Now I'm very grateful for it, because it got me into doing this, and it got me into the paranormal and investigating the weird and the wonderful and the strange of the world. But I want to know answers. I want answers. I can't have the unknown mysteries. It annoys me. I want to know what was there. But until this day, or until the day that I'm able to investigate there, which will probably never happen, I will never ever know what it was that gave me that feeling, what it was I saw behind the garage, or what was watching me as I spun around and around and around and around. I know this video is a little different from anything that I've ever done before, anything I've ever released before. It is just me stood waffling about my history, about my past as a child. Now bearing in mind all these events happened between the age of sort of 5 to 11, give or take. So there was a lot more that happened to me that I can't remember the full details of. I wish I could, but I know that my brain's locked it away for some reason. But if you've enjoyed this, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to me on YouTube. To the 100 and odd of you that have already subscribed, thank you, I love you. You have no idea how much it means to me. In the future, I'm going to do more videos like this. I'm going to do videos on the house my parents are in now, the one in Wales. Videos on experiences I've had in other people's houses. I've got some other things planned as well. Like I said at the start of the year, it's going to be a big year. I know I've taken about a month or so off, but that was for my mental health, to deal with certain things that I don't know where the mental health issue came from. I know where it's been since we were last in Wales. I'm coming to terms with that now. It's a very strange, weird feeling knowing that somebody you loved and respected is no longer in the world. But that is life, unfortunately. So one of the videos, or one of the projects I've got planned, is I'm going to start doing a series on Scottish murderers, going to the places where these crimes potentially took place and speaking about the dark history of these places. Another idea I've got, another sort of thing I want to do, is the myths and legends of Scotland. Where do they come from? What's given substance to these myths and legends? Who came up with them? Why do they happen? Why do we believe in them so deeply? So if you're excited about that, there's a lot of things I've got planned. There will still be explores, there will still be paranormal investigations, but I don't want to stagnate myself or this channel to just one or two things. I want you guys to come on this weird adventure of my life with me as well, and it's shit I'm interested in. So, until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye. I'm out today to shoot a new video, and this is where I was going to record it. Now this is an old hermitage, so a hermit lived here. I know I could easily climb through this hole. The height is what's fucking me up. It is so high, like I've got a death grip on a lot of shit around me. I had my boot pressed against this tree. So what I'm going to do is, round the back of it is quite claustrophobic and creepy feeling, so I think I'm going to shoot it there. Going to have a cigarette and chill out from all these fucking heights for a minute. And also, just whilst I'm here, if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you know that me and Danny were away latter part of last week, up north, exploring a lot of places, Elgin Cathedral, Spiny Palace, loads of cool historic Scotland places. So if you get the chance, go to them. On the way back down from where we were in Elgin, we stopped off at Fyvie Castle, which again, if you get the chance, go. It's incredible. If you're National Trust, it's free. No complaining there. Then we went to a place called Glamis Castle. Now, Glamis Castle is synonymous with royals. Really cool looking building, really interesting history. But whilst we were there, something that I never ever thought would happen, happened. So here's your shout out. This is to Clooney, who gave an amazing tour at Glamis Castle. Really informative, really funny, really enjoyed it. So Clooney is one of my subscribers, and I never ever ever thought I'd meet a subscriber, especially whilst my numbers are so low. So promised I'd give you a shout out. Here it is. Thank you for the amazing tour. You know, great time. Now, I've just recorded that video about my paranormal experiences as a kid and in the first family home we had. And I'm walking along this path, and as you can see, it's a fucking beautiful day, very brightly lit. And something, I'm going to say something, has just rushed up behind me, lifted and pulled on my bag. Like, properly lift and pulled my bag. I'm man enough to say I shit myself. Like, properly shit myself then. That was fucking terrifying. And now I've no idea where the fuck I'm going. I feel confused, disoriented. I think if I follow that path, I end up back on the road to my car. I think. I don't know for sure. I've put Deadcom on because, you know, shit myself and it's come up saying poorly. Oh, I've fucking cacked myself then. Like, properly cacked myself. I'm gonna take a minute, guys, readjust my bag. That's properly shit me up. But I think I'm gonna keep you on the journey with me now, because this is not what I expected to happen here. Something really doesn't want me talking in here anymore. I've just recorded a couple of minutes of me walking up this path. So I'll semi-repeat myself. I've readjusted my bag, sorted everything. Now my bag's not particularly heavy, it's not light. It's lighter than it normally is, it doesn't have all my paranormal gear or that in it. I took my other cameras out. But something lifted my bag up and pulled me backwards. Now I'm wondering, is it the spirit of the hermit that used to live in that house? Does he not like, or do they not like? Because we don't know if it was a man or a woman. Me talking about my paranormal history and talking about that sort of weird shit around their home. That's fucking shit me up, guys. Like, properly shit me up. I don't know if Deadcom said anything else. Warmer. Poorly warmer. So no, not really said anything else. I'm nearly at the gate that I walked through to, or the hole in the wall that I walked through to get in here. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. It's warm. It's actually reasonably hot. I stupidly didn't bring a drink with me. I'm not delirious, it's not what happened there. My bag moved up. I can't even replicate the feeling of it, because my tripod fell out. That's well secured in my bag, and when I went to put it back in, the straps were too tight for it to go in. What the fuck, guys? Like, I'm properly shaking from that. So I'm heading back up to my car, up this single track road. That's pretty cool. Heading back up to my car, head to a shop, get something to drink, and then back home to edit this video. Tell you what, guys, I miss Wales, but Scotland is fucking beautiful. And this is, you know, a stone's throw from not a major city in Scotland, but it's a Scottish city nonetheless. This is just outside of Stirling. So again, if you get the chance to visit this area, do it. It's amazing. It's so beautiful here. But yeah, so I'm heading back to my car. Maybe gather my thoughts. That was fucking Google Maps. Move. Anchor wants me out of here. So this is not where I expected this video to take me. But that, I suppose, is the joy of the paranormal. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's completely different, like I said, to anything I've done before. So let me know down in the comments. Smash the like button if you've liked it. And hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all soon. Bye.